Judge Han Park sat straight in his tall chair. The courtroom was busy and noisy. People talked in low voices. The smell of coffee and perfume filled the air. Judge Park looked at his watch. It was almost 10 in the morning. Next case, he called out. A court officer brought forward a thin file. Traffic violation, Your Honor. Dr. G. Kim. Speeding, 87 in a 55 zone. Judge Park opened the file and looked at the details. The officer who gave the ticket noted that Dr. Kim had been polite but seemed in a hurry. The judge looked up as the doors opened. A woman walked in. She wore a white lab coat over a simple black dress. Her hair was pulled back in a neat bun. She walked with confidence to the front of the court. Dr. G. Kim? Judge Park asked. Yes, Your Honor. Her voice was clear and strong. Judge Park studied her face for a moment. She looked tired, with small circles under her eyes. But she stood tall and met his gaze directly. You were caught driving at 87 miles per hour in a 55 zone on the North Science Corridor. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor, but with an explanation. Judge Park nodded. Go ahead. Dr. Kim took a deep breath. I'm the lead scientist at the Quantum Research Center. We had an emergency with one of our experiments. The cooling system was failing, and if I didn't get there quickly, we could have lost 6 months of data and damaged equipment worth millions. Did you call emergency services? Judge Park asked. No, Your Honor. It wasn't that kind of emergency. No one was in danger. Just our research. Judge Park frowned. Dr. Kim, I understand your work is important, but the speed limit applies to everyone. The North Science Corridor has many pedestrians and cyclists. You put lives at risk. I understand, Your Honor. I was wrong to speed. Dr. Kim's voice remained steady, but her hands gripped the edge of the table in front of her. Judge Park looked at her record. No previous violations. Clean driving history. He should be lenient. But something about her calm confidence bothered him. The fine for this violation is normally 500 credits, he said. However, given the excessive speed and your disregard for public safety, I'm imposing a fine of 1,500 credits and mandatory attendance at a 3-day driver's safety course. Dr. Kim's eyes widened slightly. That seems excessive, Your Honor. The law isn't just for some people, Dr. Kim. Your scientific work doesn't put you above others. A slight flush appeared on Dr. Kim's cheeks. I never suggested it did. The court's decision is final. Judge Park tapped his gavel. Pay the fine before leaving today. Dr. Kim nodded stiffly. She turned to go to the payment desk but stopped. She turned back to face the judge. Your Honor, may I say something? Judge Park was about to refuse but changed his mind. Briefly. Time is more complex than we think. Sometimes what seems important in one moment becomes trivial in another. And what seems trivial can become vital. Her dark eyes seemed to look through him. Perspective changes everything. Judge Park felt a strange chill. That's all very philosophical, Dr. Kim, but it doesn't change traffic laws. Dr. Kim gave a small smile. No, but it might change how we understand them. Thank you for your time, Judge Park. She walked away, paid her fine, and left the courtroom. Later that day, Judge Park found himself thinking about the strange scientist. Her words had stuck with him. As he drove home, he passed the North Science Corridor and saw the large, dome-shaped building of the Quantum Research Center glowing against the evening sky. For a moment, he felt a strange sensation, as if time itself had shifted. He shook his head to clear it and drove on. But that night, he dreamed of stars, of vast distances, and of Dr. Kim's voice saying, "Perspective changes everything." The next morning, he turned on the news as he made coffee. A reporter stood outside the Quantum Research Center. Scientists here have made what they're calling a significant breakthrough in quantum physics, the reporter said. Dr. G. Kim, who leads the research team, says this discovery could revolutionize our understanding of space travel. Judge Park's coffee cup stopped halfway to his mouth. On the screen, Dr. Kim stood at a podium, looking confident and composed. Their eyes seemed to meet through the screen, as if she knew he was watching. 3 months passed since Judge Park had found Dr. Kim in his courtroom. He had almost forgotten about her until that morning when her face appeared on every screen in the city. Breaking news, the announcer said. Scientists at the Quantum Research Center have achieved what many thought impossible. Dr. G. Kim and her team have created the first working faster-than-light drive. Judge Park stared at his living room screen. Dr. Kim stood at a podium surrounded by government officials. She wore a blue suit instead of a lab coat now. Her hair was styled differently. But her eyes held the same intense focus he remembered. This breakthrough will change humanity's future, she said. We can now reach the nearest stars within months instead of centuries. Judge Park felt a strange twist in his stomach. The woman he had dismissed and heavily fined had just changed the course of human history. That evening, Judge Park came home tired. Court had been busy, and his mind kept drifting to the news about Dr. Kim. He unlocked his door and stepped inside. Something felt wrong. The lights came on automatically. He froze. His apartment looked both familiar and strange. The couch was his, but now had different pillows. His bookshelf held books he didn't recognize. On his wall hung a picture of stars he had never bought. "Hello," he called, but only silence answered. He moved slowly through his home, touching objects that shouldn't be there. In his study, his desk was the same, but the computer on it was sleeker, thinner than his own. When he touched it, it lit up with a soft blue glow. "Welcome, Judge Park," a pleasant voice said. He jumped back. "What is this?" "Your personal assistant," the voice answered. "How may I help you?" "You're not my computer," he said. "System check shows no errors," the voice replied. "Would you like to see today's news?" Before he could answer, the screen changed to show a news report. Dr. G. Kim stood beside a large ship shaped like an arrow. The headline read, "FTL test flight scheduled for next month." The date on the screen read January 15, 2026. But today was August 23, 2025. Judge Park backed away from the desk. His foot hit something that made a soft clinking sound. He looked down. A small metal box about the size of his palm sat on the floor. It had no obvious opening, just smooth silver surfaces with strange markings. When he picked it up, it felt warm. As he turned it in his hands, one side began to glow. Suddenly, the air above the box shimmered, and an image appeared. It was Dr. Kim, but older. Her hair showed touches of gray. She wore a uniform with stars on the collar. "Judge Park," the image said. "If you're seeing this, then it's started. I don't have much time to explain." The hologram flickered. "The device I've sent contains information you'll need. Earth faces a challenge unlike anything in human history. First contact is coming, but not the way we hoped." Judge Park sat heavily in his chair. "This isn't real," he whispered. The hologram smiled sadly. "I know this is hard to believe. 5 years ago, in your time, you fined me for speeding. I was rushing to my lab because we'd detected the first signal. I couldn't tell anyone then." Judge Park remembered her words in court, "Perspective changes everything." "The aliens aren't friendly, Judge Park. They judge species by their legal systems and scientific advancement. They only respect those who balance both. That's why I need you." The hologram flickered again, growing fainter. "The box contains coordinates and dates. You must be there when they arrive. They'll test us, and we'll need your understanding of justice." "Why me?" Judge Park asked, even though he knew the recording couldn't hear him. But the hologram paused, as if it had anticipated his question. "Because you were fair, even when you were strict. You follow rules but understand their purpose. And because in my timeline, you became the most important human diplomat in our history." the image began to fade. One more thing, Dr. Kim's hologram said. When they ask for Earth's representative, it must be me. Everything depends on it. The hologram vanished. The box cooled in his hands. Judge Park sat in silence for a long time. Then he turned to the strange computer. "Show me everything about Dr. G. Kim's FTL project," he said. The screen filled with articles, photos, and videos. As he read, a plan began to form in his mind. If this was real, and some part of him believed it was, then he needed to meet with Dr. Kim again. Not as a judge this time, but as someone with a warning about the future. The next morning, Judge Park called in sick for the first time in 10 years. He packed the metal box carefully in his bag and headed toward the Quantum Research Center. Judge Park stood at the security gate of the Quantum Research Center. His heart beat fast as he showed his judge's ID to the guard. "I need to see Dr. G. Kim. It's urgent." The guard looked at his screen. "No appointments today for Dr. Kim. She's in a closed meeting." Just then, alarms began to sound throughout the building. Red lights flashed. People ran in all directions. "What's happening?" Judge Park asked. The guard put a hand to his earpiece. His face went pale. "Sir, you need to leave now. We have a security situation." Suddenly, all the screens in the lobby changed to show the same image. A large, silver ship hung in the sky above the city. It was shaped like a perfect cube with no visible windows or doors. "This is not a drill," a voice said over the speakers. "Unknown object has entered Earth's atmosphere. All personnel follow emergency protocols." Judge Park didn't move. This was it, what Dr. Kim's hologram had warned him about. The first contact was happening now. A group of people rushed through the lobby. Among them was Dr. Kim. She looked surprised to see Judge Park. "You," she said. "What are you doing here?" Before he could answer, his phone rang with a tone he had never heard before. When he looked at it, he saw a message: "Presidential Emergency Alert, all judges report to Government Center." Dr. Kim received a similar message on her device. Their eyes met. "You need to come with me," she said. 20 minutes later, they sat in a conference room at the Government Center. Military officers, scientists, and government officials filled the room. On a large screen, the alien ship still hung in the sky. "It's broadcasting a message on all frequencies," a general said. "In perfect English and 12 other languages. The message played, 'People of Earth. We are the Judicial Council of the Seven Systems. Your species has achieved faster than light technology. This qualifies you for evaluation. Prepare to receive our representatives in 6 hours. They will assess your worthiness to join the galactic community." The room erupted in noise. The president raised her hands for silence. "Dr. Kim, what do we know about this ship?" "Nothing, Madam President. Our sensors can't penetrate its hull. But it matches no known design principles." "And why is Judge Park here?" someone asked. Judge Park stood. "I have information." He took out the metal box. 3 days ago, this appeared in my home. It contains a message from the future. From Dr. Kim. Everyone stared at him. Some laughed nervously. "Show them," Dr. Kim said quietly. Judge Park activated the box. The hologram appeared, but it was different this time. It showed star charts, alien writing, and images of the cube ship. "The aliens judge species by their legal systems," Judge Park explained. "They believe law is the foundation of civilization. They'll test us." "This is absurd," the general said. "We should prepare our defenses." "No," Dr. Kim said firmly. "If Judge Park is right, showing aggression would be the worst response." The president looked between them. "You two seem to understand this situation better than anyone. What do you suggest?" "We need to prepare for their test," Judge Park said. "And Dr. Kim needs to be our representative." 6 hours later, a smaller cube ship landed in the central plaza of the city. Judge Park and Dr. Kim stood with a small welcome committee as a door appeared in the side of the cube. 3 tall beings emerged. They had silver skin that reflected the sunlight. Each had 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. They wore no clothes, but their bodies seemed covered in symbols that shifted and changed like moving tattoos. The tallest stepped forward. Its mouth didn't move, but words formed in everyone's minds. I am High Judge Son of the Judicial Council. We have watched your species for many cycles. You have advanced quickly in science, but your laws are inconsistent. This is dangerous. Dr. Kim stepped forward. Welcome to Earth. I am Dr. G. Kim, scientist and designated representative. And I am Judge Han Park, keeper of Earth's laws, Judge Park added, following an instinct he couldn't explain. The alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. A scientist and a judge together. Unusual but promising. It held out a silver hand with 7 fingers. You will both undergo the evaluation. What is this evaluation? The president asked. 7 tests of law, science, and wisdom, the alien replied. If you fail, your faster-than-light technology will be removed. If you succeed, you join the council. And if we refuse, the general asked. All 4 of the alien's eyes focused on him. There is no refusal. The test has already begun. Judge Park felt Dr. Kim's hand brush against his. When he looked at her, he saw not fear but determination. Somehow, they had to pass these tests together, the judge who had once fined her and the scientist who had sent warnings from the future. The first 6 tests from the aliens had pushed Judge Park and Dr. Kim to their limits. They had solved complex moral problems, answered scientific questions, and made difficult choices that tested both law and compassion. Now they stood before High Judge Sun for the final test. They were in a large white room inside the alien ship. The walls glowed with soft light. There were no windows, no furniture except 3 silver chairs. You have done well, High Judge Sun said, its thoughts flowing into their minds. Many species fail before reaching the final test. Dr. Kim looked tired. Her hair had come loose from its neat style. Judge Park's normally perfect suit was wrinkled. They had barely slept in 3 days. What is the final test? Judge Park asked. The test of truth, the alien said. You must share your deepest truths with each other. A thin silver device floated between them. It spun slowly, emitting a soft hum. This will know if you speak truth or lies, High Judge Sun explained. Begin. Judge Park and Dr. Kim looked at each other. Neither knew what to say. The alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Perhaps I must help you start. Judge Park, why did you come to the research center on the day of first contact? Judge Park took a deep breath. I received a warning. From the future. The silver device glowed green. Truth, said High Judge Sunday continue. A future version of Dr. Kim sent me information. About your arrival. About these tests. Dr. Kim's eyes widened. You never told me that part. I didn't know how, Judge Park admitted. How do you tell someone you've seen their future self? The device glowed green again. Dr. Kim, the alien turned to her. Why did you speed that day when Judge Park fined you? Dr. Kim looked down. I was rushing to my lab because we detected an unusual signal from space. I thought it might be alien in origin. I couldn't tell anyone because we weren't sure. Green light. And was it? Judge Park asked. Yes. It was the first sign of the 7 systems. The first proof we weren't alone. The alien nodded its silver head. Now we reach deeper truth. Judge Park, what did you feel when you find Dr. Kim? Judge Park closed his eyes. I felt power. I saw someone successful and important, and part of me wanted to show that the law applied to her too. I made the fine higher than it needed to be. The green glow was bright now. And Dr. Kim, what did you send back in time to Judge Park? The complete truth. Dr. Kim looked straight at Judge Park. I sent information about the aliens. But I also sent a changed timeline. What do you mean? Judge Park asked. In the original timeline, we failed the tests. Earth was rejected. But I discovered something important. She took a deep breath. The aliens respect balance between law and science. In my timeline, you and I never worked together. I thought you were unfair and avoided you. So you changed time to make us work together? Judge Park asked. Yes. But there's more. Dr. Kim looked nervous now. In the original timeline, they asked Earth to choose one representative to join their council. They wouldn't accept a scientist alone. They wanted someone who understood both science and law. The aliens' four eyes focused intently on them both. And now we come to the final truth, High Judge Sun said. Dr. Kim, tell him what you did. Dr. Kim's voice became very quiet. In my timeline, I studied law after you find me. I wanted to understand the system that had judged me. I became both scientist and judge. But it took 10 years, and by then it was too late. The 7 systems had moved on. Judge Park stared at her. So you sent the warning back. To create a new timeline where we would work together from the beginning. Where I would still be a scientist, and you would be the judge. Together, we have what they're looking for. The device between them glowed the brightest green yet. High Judge Sun stood. The test of truth is complete. You have passed all 7 tests. What happens now? Judge Park asked. Now Earth must choose its representative to the Council of 7 Systems. One person who understands both law and science. One who will speak for your planet. Judge Park looked at Dr. Kim. In her eyes, he saw the future, her future, as the leader Earth needed. He remembered the hologram's words, when they ask for Earth's representative, it must be me. I nominate Dr. G. Kim, he said firmly. Dr. Kim looked surprised. But the representative needs to understand law. Judge Park smiled. You will. I'll teach you everything I know. High Judge Sun's silver face showed no expression, but its thoughts seemed pleased. The council accepts your choice. Dr. G. Kim will begin training immediately. As they left the White Room, Dr. Kim whispered to Judge Park, "Thank you for trusting me." "I'm just following the future," he replied. Your future. 1 year had passed since the aliens arrived. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined. The skyline of every major city now featured tall silver towers where humans and aliens worked together. Ships from the 7 systems came and went, bringing new technology and knowledge. Judge Park stood on the observation deck of the new spaceport. Below him stretched the launch pad where Earth's first official faster-than-light ship waited. It was called Horizon, and it gleamed in the morning sun. Its hull was a mix of human and alien design, beautiful and strange at the same time. Today was the launch day. The Horizon would carry Earth's first diplomatic team to the Council headquarters in a distant star system. Dr. Kim would lead the mission as Earth's official representative. Judge Park adjusted his new uniform. After the tests, he had been appointed chief legal advisor to the human-alien relations team. His old courthouse now seemed like a distant memory. A door slid open behind him. Dr. Kim walked in, wearing the silver and blue uniform of an Earth representative. A small symbol of the 7 systems shone on her collar. "Ready for the big day?" she asked. Judge Park nodded. "Hard to believe it's really happening." They stood side by side, looking down at the busy launch area. Workers moved around the ship in careful patterns. Some were human, others were the silver-skinned aliens. "I received a message this morning," Dr. Kim said quietly. "From the future." Judge Park turned to her. "From yourself?" "Yes. The time loop is complete now. My future self sent the final instructions." She smiled. "She said to tell you thank you." "For what?" "For changing. For helping." For seeing beyond the courtroom. Judge Park thought back to that day when he had found her. How small his world had been then. How limited his understanding. I should be thanking you, he said. Your future self gave me a purpose bigger than just applying laws. The launch countdown began over the speakers. 10 minutes to departure. I have something for you, Dr. Kim said. She held out a small silver box, similar to the one that had appeared in Judge Park's apartment a year ago. He took it carefully. What is it? Open it. Inside was a simple badge with a unique design, half scales of justice, half atomic symbol. You're coming with us, Dr. Kim said. The council has requested you specifically. They said Earth needs 2 voices, science and law. Judge Park stared at the badge. But I'm not on the crew list. You are now. Your replacement at the legal office has already been notified. She smiled. Pack quickly. We leave in 10 minutes. 5 minutes later, Judge Park stood inside the Horizon with a small bag of personal items. The ship was more spacious inside than it looked from the outside. Crew members moved efficiently through the corridors. Dr. Kim led him to the bridge. Large windows showed the launch area and the sky beyond. Other officers nodded respectfully as they entered. Commander on bridge, someone announced. Status report, Dr. Kim said, taking the central chair. All systems ready, Commander. Countdown at 3 minutes. Judge Park watched in amazement. The woman he had once judged now commanded humanity's most advanced ship and would soon represent Earth to the galaxy. Take your station, Legal Advisor Park, Dr. Kim said with a small smile. He moved to a console marked with the symbol of Earth's new legal system, a combination of traditional scales and the 7 systems symbol. The countdown continued. 1 minute remained. Are you nervous? Dr. Kim asked quietly. Yes, Judge Park admitted. Everything will be different now. Different doesn't mean worse, she said. Just a new perspective. The words echoed what she had told him in court a year ago. Perspective changes everything. 10 seconds to launch, the computer announced. The crew fell silent. Judge Park felt the slight vibration as the engines powered up. 3, 2, 1, launch. The ship rose smoothly from the pad. Through the windows, Judge Park watched Earth grow smaller. The blue planet that had been his whole world was now just one small part of a much larger universe. Setting course for the council headquarters, the pilot announced. Dr. Kim turned to Judge Park. Ready to help write the new laws of Earth's place in the galaxy? He nodded. Ready, Commander. As the stars streaked past the windows, Judge Park thought about how a simple traffic violation had led to this moment. How the strict judge and the speeding scientist had become humanity's voice among the stars. The Horizon accelerated beyond lightspeed, carrying them toward a future neither could have imagined alone, but that together, they would help create.